Greetings. This is Arvette McLean with Speak, The Universe Listens. New ways to view age-old challenges. Change your thoughts, change your life. Step into the bigness of you.
So often we always talk about how you have to feel whatever it is you want. Like, so talk about visualization. Everybody probably across the world talks about visualization. But the component that we often overlook is actually feeling the vision in their bodies. And so I really wanted us to talk about like really embodying that feeling, like bringing it home into your body so that you feel like the thing in your body.
Yeah, see, I think the feeling, like you said, is like one of the biggest parts of the whole manifestation process to me. And I think for me, I remember when I was in a place where I feel like, yeah, you know, I'm manifesting or whatever, like I visualize things or whatever, but like I would do it, but I would only believe that to even be a possibility in that moment. And it wasn't until I started like, all right, first I had to apply like, okay, I can feel this way, not just when I'm feeling about this right now. I can feel this way all day. And then I remember my life kind of started to transition as I started to feel the things I was saying. Like, I don't want to ramble, but I think my best example might be, I remember a time where I was very shy, and it would probably have been hard to get like a lot of words out of me. And then I just you know,
she said what?
A long time ago. Like eons ago. But like now, I started telling myself like, no, you speak well. And then I started feeling like my words meant things. And then as I started saying it more and also feeling like, oh, like these words coming out of me have a lot of power, like, and people are really listening and like feeling the ears listening to me, was when I felt most empowered in speaking.
I remember years ago when we first started recording this podcast. I remember I was, you know, just hearing this stuff for the first time, and I remember you used to always say that, like, you gotta feel it though, and I didn't know what that meant. Like, I'm saying, you know, like, I didn't know what that meant until I actually started feeling it and focusing on. I think what put it for me to help me get it was, okay, here's what you visualizing or thinking about. How does it feel for you to have that now? And that would be like, okay, well, how would that feel? And then I start thinking about how I feel, and I'm like, oh, and then I start feeling it. And so I think that for me is what got me to understand that, okay, you can think about it or you can say whatever, because if I'm just saying, oh, well, you know, I'm gonna wake up in the morning and say some affirmations, I can say them, but after that, they were just affirmations. Like, if I didn't feel any of that, then what was it for? Like, it was literally just me saying such and such. But yeah, so when I start to think of things as, it's not thinking of it as not here, like thinking of it as this, like I am that now, is when I can start feeling it.
That's how I pretty much now go about my day on an everyday basis. Like, I will wake up in the morning and I go to the gym, you know, come home, eat breakfast, you know, meditate maybe for like 15 minutes or so before I actually get my day started. But before I was doing that, I wasn't doing that, and I envisioned myself being like, you know, this higher version of myself. So I'm like, okay, well, what is that? What is the higher version of yourself? And so when I seen it as to where it's like, this is how I see myself, and I start being it on an everyday basis, even at work, you know, I see myself as being this positive individual. I carry myself as such. Everything around me, my whole scenery is just, it goes in alignment with how I present myself, how I carry myself. And I may say, hey, you know, you got $1 million in the bank. Now, I may not physically have it in the bank, right? But I believe it. You see what I'm saying? And just maybe just having a thought process like that, I don't see myself, you know, financially hurting, or, you know, I just don't have that mindset no more. So I just, every day, just try to be. That's the biggest thing.
I think both of y'all said something that I found interesting and also important. It was like a sense of repetition in doing it that actually also kind of helped y'all get to that place. Like, I know, like you said, if I say a positive affirmation and then I just leave it at that, then that's all it's going to be. Like, it's just those words. It's the actual, like, I think it's the doing something, it's the routine side of it that for me was helped me able to jumpstart like feeling it.
Yeah.
So like when I was doing a process every day of like, all right, like let's visualize what we want and like spend time like really feeling it. Like the first few times I did it, it was like, oh yeah, and then things would happen and then I would go away from it. It's like, well, what are we going away from it for? Like we got the real results right here, so why not continue to do it? But it was still a sense of I had to break my mindset of, well, no, it's no way that's why this is working, or this is all I have to do. It's the sense of, it almost feels like it's when it's just, all right, you need to be and you need to like really embody that. It sounds too easy. Like the idea of like, oh no, you just need to really feel what you're saying, and then you feel what you're saying. Like what?
Right.
It's almost like the biggest fallacy that was told is that we're only human.
Mm-hmm.
And so from the space of we're only human, then things will not be easy. But from the space of we are connected to the source of all that exists, we are connected to the mind of the infinite, to the omnipotent, all-powerful, all-knowing.
Right.
We're connected and we can tap into that at any time. So then, yeah.
Thinking about just what you said, like I can think about the difference in my life having that information and not having it, because when I didn't have that information or didn't think about it like that, when I think about it now, it's like, hold on. I really was just leaving my days and how I'm feeling like to chance, kind of. Like, yeah. I can wake up and it may be an amazing day, or it may not be, but it ain't gonna have nothing to do with me. Like, I'm just leaving it to, and it's like, whatever outside of me is gonna determine how my day is gonna go. And so, like, you like, hope today good, or I hope, you know, it's like, I can't fathom that now. Like, yeah. Just leaving it to somebody else, like, I just can't, like, leaving it to something outside of me. And like you said, like, knowing that, okay, I'm connected to all it is, and I have the power to feel however I want to feel at any moment. Like, that's just game changing.
It is.
Yeah. It's crazy that you said that, because I remember years ago when I was younger, and I remember when I was like just sort of like getting out on my own, and I didn't have no transportation at the time, riding the city bus going back and forth to work. And I remember at that time my whole mindset was like what I know now I really didn't know then, but by me knowing what I know now, I was doing it then. Just didn't really realize it, because every day I'd be walking to work and I'd be like, my circumstances gonna change. This isn't gonna last forever. Me going back, walking back and forth to work, or, eventually I'm gonna get my car. And then I was telling myself that, and it took time though, but the biggest thing that I notice now is that then I truly believed it, even though I didn't have it, you know what I'm saying? And everybody else had it, and I'm like, I didn't even sweat it, because I'm like, I'm gonna get it eventually. It took time. Eventually, I did get those things. But now I look at it, and it's like, this is something that all of us already have, but we're just not really aware of it. But when you're aware of it, you move totally different.
Man, actually, both of what y'all just said again ties in so much. So, as I was listening to your story, it's like, yeah, you know, I believed that I was gonna get it eventually. And the eventually is that one word that might have made it take any longer than what you thought it could or should take. Like, you could have had it instantly. But if you had the knowledge now, you probably don't even say the word eventually at the end of that sentence.
Right.
Right.
Like, that's just so mind-blowing.
Right.
And one of the things that, you know, my favorite guru always says is, you're everything you wish to be, you already are.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember when I first would hear that, I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Or whatever. But now I so get it, I get it. Like, we're already it now.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing we have to do is feel into it. And like, as soon as we create it in this realm, it already exists. And so we want it to come into the physical realm, then we just need to focus on it, and we just need to embody it. Like, start feeling it in your cells. Like, can each cell of your body feel it? And I actually was practicing with, like, making my cells, every cell in my body, feel magical, and making every cell in my body feeling powerful, and making every cell in my body feel like, you know, it's just divine, and just really like focusing on that. And I know a lot of times, like, even like when we do affirmations or whatever, we don't really spend a whole lot of time, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time, but a lot of times we don't spend that much time. And so I once heard, I think I read in their book, in Abraham Hicks, they say that it takes 14 seconds of focused attention on something in order to attract another like thought. And so I'm like, 14 seconds. And so I'll be like, okay, so if I spend a minute, then, you know, I have several like thoughts. And so, but anyway, like, if you can just hold your attention on that feeling for a minute, like, that's game changing. And a lot of times we don't, because we allow other things outside of us to take our attention away. I know, like I said, when I'm quiet, when, you know, things slow down and I just allow myself to be quiet, it's like a totally different amount of energy that comes through me, and I can hold my attention for a minute. We're in, like, if it's like I got all this stuff I have to do, then I'll be like, okay, let me embody this thought, and I'll embody it, and then I'll be thinking, and what I gotta do today? You know, then I bring myself back, but rarely ever holding it for a whole minute. And a minute is really not that much to ask, you know. So we can really, whatever it takes, just to slow ourselves down, be quiet, and feel the feelings. Feel it in your body, feel it in your cells, feel it in your heart, feel it in your brain. Just feel it everywhere, whatever you want more of. And remember to not create the gap. Like Stephen always said, just be it now. There's no gap, because once you're saying, I want to get it, then that's saying you don't have it. And so you don't want to create that space. Have it now, experience it here, be in a space where this world is just so wonderful for you. Like, you're like just loving that thing in your imagination, in your creative sphere, in your energetic field, just loving it there, really loving it so much that you don't even need it to come into physical existence. But that's what will bring it into physical existence.
But Yeah, I know for me, my biggest thing, like every day, and it's been more that I've been doing it lately, but when I come home every day from like walking to the gym, walking back home, I step inside my home, I'm just like beyond thankful for like everything that I have, you know, and I always do that on an everyday basis, even the things that, you know, some people on the outside may say, well, dang, you don't got this, or you may not have this. Yeah, I may not have that, but I'm still thankful that, you know, if I don't have it physically, I know I got it, you know. So just reminding myself just to be in that attitude of gratitude continuously, and then I notice over time things just start to open up, you know. So.
And the thing that I've been doing lately along the same lines is recognizing that it's such a gift to be in the physical body. Like, as spirit, you know, spirit is cool and everything, but you know, you don't get to talk to people, you don't get to hear the sound of music, you don't get to hug people, you don't get to eat pizza, you know, all those wonderful things that you can only do if you have this physical body. And so, like, I think about how when certain things bad happen in your life, and you be like, oh my God, like why you going through it is so terrible. But then years later, you look back on it and either you're thankful or grateful for, or even it's funny, or, you know, and I'm like, that's probably how we'll do, like once we release the physical body and we go back to spirit, we'd be like, yeah, remember that time? You know, I mean, I don't know what I'm saying, but basically all I'm trying to say is, like, I feel like I'm shifting my focus to being thankful for every experience that's here, because it's all a part of like expansion and just the beauty of being alive, you know, being in the physical body. And so, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Like, if it's, you know, what I would normally say, oh, that's a pain, and I'm like, oh, this is a sensation. Like, if I didn't have a body, I wouldn't get to have this sensation. Or whatever. So just flipping the script a little bit on that. So when I say feel it in your cells, are y'all able to do that?
I'm able to do it, you know. I say like probably 4 times out the week. Like I said, I've been working on just being in the attitude of gratitude every day. But when I say affirmations, or when I say, you know, I'm thankful for my roof over my head, or I'm thankful for this, that, and the third, I actually feel a sense of just happiness and joy. So I know by me feeling like that, now I want more of that. So by me wanting more of that, that makes me want to do it every day, you know. So I can feel it. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I can feel it as well.
Yeah, I think my answer is probably really aligned to Steven's. It's like sometimes, like when it's a really good feeling, and actually when it's like the feeling of gratitude, it's so easy for me to feel it in every cell. I'm still working on the loving every cell. Like the idea, yeah, I'm still working on it. Like not like the real self-love of like loving every last cell. Cause sometimes I'm like, yeah, but like I don't even think about that. So I never even think about like the cell in my foot and like really feeling what love feels like there. But like when it's gratitude, I'm always able to like complete gratitude throughout my whole body and just overly thankful, saying thank you just for random things. Yeah.
That's awesome. I know that you ever think about like how easy it is to just stand in front of a mirror, right? And you can sit back and it's so easy to pinpoint all the things that you don't like about yourself, all the imperfections, right? But what happened if you was to turn that around and look in the mirror and be like, dang, I love myself today, or that, you know, I love my pointy ears, or, you know, just complimenting yourself instead of sitting back and looking for all the faults that you recognize. And you probably the only one that recognizes it, and everybody else, they're like, man, they see nothing but your perfection, you know.
All right. talking about this topic of embodying whatever it is that you want more of in your life. And literally, when I'm saying feel it in your cells, I mean what you guys are saying, like feel it in your whole body. But I'm literally saying feel it in your cells, like have your cells, because you know, every cell has so much information in it, you know, and like if you can direct your cells to feel the thing. And I don't know how many cells a human body has. Does anybody have any? Let's just say millions and millions and millions.
Right.
And what if all these millions of cells are radiating that energy along with you? So it's like each cell has its own consciousness. And so if all of those consciousnesses are working together, like they're all radiating the exact same thing. Like I think that's like such a great imagery. And so like I'll like practice having all my cells radiate whatever the thing is. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys for joining us as well. We look forward to chatting with you again next week. And until then, this is Arvette.
And this is Steven.
Toronto.
Rodney.
Bye, y'all.